I think one of the biggest mistakes I made growing up was confusing being a good person with being a nice person because they're not the same thing. And it took me way too long to figure that out. Like, some people see kindness as generosity, while other people see kindness as permission just to like treat you poorly. And I started realizing this like after I was doing all these favors for people and like my overall treatment wasn't like improving at all. Back when I was working at Tesla in the factory, there's this like older dude who asked me if I could like give him a ride to work one day because like I don't know, he only had like one car or something with his girlfriend or something. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, that's fine, I can give you a lift. It was low key, like kind of out of the way. It was kind of an inconvenience on my part to pick him up and drive him to work, you know? I'm like, whatever, that's one time. Then he asked again and then again, and I was like, sure, yeah, whatever. And then, you know, all of a sudden, I'm driving this dude to work like every freaking day. And now I have to get up like an hour early just to pick him up, to take him to work. After a while, I was getting like really frustrated and like pissed off. I like texted him like, dude, I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. Like, it's just super inconvenient for me. I can't be driving you to work every single day. I thought it was going to be like a one-time thing. I didn't know like it was going to be like an all the time thing. And like of course the guy gets all like butthurt and stuff and like, you know, mad and upset even though I'm still like doing him a favor in the first place. It's like, did he really just expect me just to drive him like the rest of his life to work? You know, that's what happens like when you're too nice to people, you know. Another thing that happened at work was I was just starting, and I told this dude, yeah, like I got a house all to myself, and he was like asking how long my commute was. I'm like, I don't know, like 20 minutes or something. He told me his commute was like 60 minutes. Keep in mind, like I literally just met this guy, and I kid you not, he literally asked if he could live with me so he could not have to drive an hour into work, and I have no idea who this guy is. And I was like so like taken back and like shocked that he felt comfortable asking me this, not even knowing who I am. So I was like, yeah, sure, let me just get back to you on that. Then like I just made something up. I'm like, yo, sorry, dude, my girlfriend's actually planning on moving in soon, and so it's just not really gonna work out. And this guy too was all butthurt and angry that I rejected him, a complete stranger, from living with me. You know, it's like this is what happens when you're too nice. Also, like doing any sort of things, like watching like people's pets or watering their plants or, you know, whatever. Like, sort of like half friends, you know, like acquaintances that you don't really like that much. And then you do these favors for them and they don't really pay you or anything. They barely say thank you, and they're still low key kind of like rude and disrespectful to you. It's like after this, I'm just like, yo, I am done. Like I am done doing favors for people. It's not worth the hassle because they don't even treat you better. They still disrespect you, and it just causes more headache. It's honestly easier just to say no. Like, say no to everyone. You know, like that Jim Carrey movie, like Yes Man? Like, I want them to make a movie called No Man, where this guy is just like no to everything. Just like, and like starring me. Hey, I'm going out of town for a little. Would you mind watching? No, no, I don't. I am not doing it. I just don't want to do it because I just don't like you. And after a while, like doing these favors for people, like people just start expecting it. They start building their lives around the expectation that you'll do stuff for them, you know? It's like super annoying. Growing up, like in my childhood, I was like a super like quiet and shy kid, you know? Especially like in elementary school. I mean, people were pretty much nice in elementary school, then they started getting kind of mean in middle school, and then high school was like, kind of like sort of a little less mean. I don't really know. But like, even though I was shy, like I was like still like super nice to people. But you know, there'd still be like these loud, obnoxious guys, like kind of like fucking with you, like taking your shit, making jokes. Like I wouldn't really call it like bullying as much as it was just like teasing and like fucking with you. But you know, they wouldn't do that to like the fucking 9 foot tall fucking sixth grader who's on the wrestling team. You know what I mean? They fuck with you because they know they can get away with it. In middle school, I started like vibe checking people. You know, I never got into like any sort of like physical fight ever before in my life, but like I would start telling these people to like fuck off and stuff. And they would fuck off. The thing about like being nice is like you can vibe check people, but if you're nice, like people will still like fuck with you. Like you'll have to constantly tell people to fuck off. It's kind of annoying. I think the biggest lesson I learned from all this is that being a nice guy is not the same thing as being a good guy, you know? And what I mean is like a good guy is pretty much a nice guy, but with self-respect and boundaries, you know? And that's the kind of guy you want to be. Like a nice guy sacrifices themselves, hoping people will like them. You have to be comfortable with people not liking you. And these people could be anybody, like people at work, could be like your neighbors, even your family. Like you just gotta get comfortable, like setting boundaries with these people. Not everyone like has to like you, you know? Like I want to give off like I'm friendly, but also don't fuck with me like kind of energy, you know? Like maybe my whole life I was giving off that sort of like golden retriever-esque like energy when I really should have been giving off that like pit bull energy. As for someone like me, it's really hard to learn how to say no to people and learn that it's okay to disappoint people. And you don't have to keep overextending yourself and inconveniencing yourself just to like appease somebody. The problem wasn't that I was nice. The problem was I taught people that there were never any consequences for not treating me right, you know? After all these realizations, I did eventually like establish self-respect and boundaries and not letting people take advantage of me, but it was a very painful process for someone who's very like people pleasing orientated like growing up. I'm getting a lot better at that. You know, one hard part about like setting boundaries and vibe checking people is like when you do that, like sometimes it can escalate to even like a bigger thing that ripples out into the future. And then you get stuck in this kind of like weekly 9 to 5 cycle where you're running into this psycho at work or school all the time who's mad that you know, called them out for being like an asshole or something, you know. There's really no way around that. You just have to be comfortable getting uncomfortable, or these people are just gonna fuck with you your whole life, you know. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you right now. If you experience any sort of like similar life struggles, you know, please feel free to share them down in the comments below. And if you have any strategies or suggestions when it comes to dealing with like people who take advantage of nice people, please feel free to share them down in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.